Let's take you back now to our breaking news story. 15 people are confirmed to have died in a head-on collision involving a minibus taxi in the Eastern Cape. Now, the incident occurred on the R63 road between Adelaide and KwaMaqoma, formerly known as Fort Beaufort. Now, Eastern Cape Transport spokesperson Unathi Binqose joins us live now with a bit more details. I don't know if there's anything else you could perhaps just share with us, Unathi, just with regards to the state of the 5 that were also injured then. Any update with regards to that?
Look, we are hoping that the picture won't get any worse than it already is now. But among the injured are 3 adult females as well as 2 minor males. They are in a serious condition at a hospital in Maqoma. Like I said, among the deceased, we are told that it's 6 adult females as well as 8 males. And unfortunately, drivers of both vehicles are among the deceased, which has left us with no choice but to open an inquest docket, rather than what would have been a culpable homicide. But both vehicles have been towed to the police station in Makanda, and we're hoping that they will be able to tell us a story or two of what may have led to this crash. Our crash investigators from Pretoria will be descending in our province to comb the scene of that crash, as well as look at those vehicles for any clues, because we do not want to see anything like this happening again in our province.
Yeah, so just detail for us. So opening an inquest document as a docket, rather, as opposed to obviously culpable murder, is because now the whole point is to try and understand what happened as opposed to charging anybody with the crime, because the 2 people who were driving, who may have been at fault, if at all, won't be able to answer to that. Is that correct?
Most certainly. And those investigations are shared with our colleagues, even at road infrastructure like your Samran. That is why we have seen modifications happening in roads like your N2, them Tinto cuttings, where they have been straightened a bit if we find that the road has been a contributing factor to the accident itself. But of course, like I said, the vehicles as well will be looked at for any possible contribution they may have had in this crash.
Are you able to share whether any of the family members have been notified thus far?
We are going to start the process of identifying the bodies of the deceased. The deceased have been taken to a government mortuary in Fort Beaufort, Maqoma currently, which is the name of the place now. And their families will be given the chance to come and have a look at the bodies of the deceased so they can identify them and start the process of burial. And of course, the government departments in the province will join hands, social development, to ensure that we provide the necessary psychological support to those families, as well as the officers that were working on that gruesome scene, so they can be able to be given some psychological support as well, given how gruesome that scene was.
Are you able to detail for me, I mean, amongst the statistics as well that were pointed out not so long ago by the Transport Minister, Barbara Creasy, the Eastern Cape itself had obviously been a problematic area, but also around that R63 road. How prevalent are incidents like this then? And is that a big concern for you, not just for this road, but also for the area?
That route is certainly popular among those who are traveling between the Western and the Eastern Cape. And given the fact that schools are reopening today, we had anticipated that there's going to be a huge volume of traffic starting from last night as people are making their way back to their places of work, some taking their children back to school. So it is no surprise that we are seeing such a high number of children being among those who are injured. And of course, there's one that has sadly passed on from this crash. It is a problem. But we've got to say that the accident, one crash that has claimed 15 lives, never have we seen something like this in almost a year in the province, not even during the December holidays and the recently concluded Easter holidays. The closest we came was an accident that happened in Grafrinet, where 14 people died. And like I said, in this one, we are fearing for the worst, given the seriousness of the injuries of those who are in hospital, but we're hoping and praying that the picture won't get any worse than it is now. And like I said, the investigation investigations are also channeled through to our colleagues at Road Infrastructure, so that if there's a need to alter the road and straighten it a bit, that work can be done. But as one of the people who are frequenting that road, the R63 between Makanda, or rather KwaMaqoma, and Adelaide is one of those better maintained roads in our province. It is one of those roads that are fairly straight. So it is quite a surprise to us that we've seen something like this. A head-on collision is not something that happens quite often on that stretch of the road. That is why we need to investigate and probe everything and not discard anything in our quest to find the real cause of this accident. If there was maybe a stray animal that was involved, we can strengthen the issue of fencing around that area. If there was another vehicle that was involved, we can get that information too, so we can improve our safety measures, particularly on that stretch of the road that has in the past not given us so many problems. So we are looking at everything, Arabile, hoping that we will maybe be able to see the end of these head-on collisions that we had seen so many of, particularly during the festive season period in our province.
Unathi, don't want to realm into the realm, or don't want to go into the realm of speculation, so we'll leave it there. But thank you so much for that update. We certainly hope to hear from yourselves as well as the Transport Department as soon as we know more as well. Then Eastern Cape Transport spokesperson Unathi Binqose joining us there to just give us an update really quickly on those confirmed. Then 15 people have died in a head-on collision involving a minibus taxi in the Eastern Cape, and that happened on the R63 road between Adelaide and KwaMaqoma as well.